Let me just check with Twitch on my MacBook.
On my MacBook.
Mr. Two Screens.
Excuse me. Oh God,
Right?
I got the fucking like Duce burps. What? I know, yo, Roger. I know Mickey D's farts smell like fried boots. What do what do Duce burps smell like?
I don't even. Ah, fuck, putting me on the spot. Definitely a hood burp.
Yeah, it smell
do
like
say, do
nah.
say, do say burps up. Do say
Duce smell like
Little
Fordham.
Caesars.
It smell like
You know, it smells
Fordham.
Little Caesars. It smells like the Little Caesars in Fordham. That's
Yeah.
how it smells like.
All right. So uh ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of Social Distancing. It's been a while. It's been roughly 2 weeks. My name is Rainey. I am joined here by the. So I know I don't have overlays or anything with our names or our handles in it, and I apologize for that. And we will be ready. We will be more ready next time. But if you guys have been peeping the stream, for the past couple days, past couple weeks. You know who I am. My name is Rainey. I am joined today by my friend, the very handsome man who's wearing a beanie in Florida right now, Freddie, who goes by Frizz,
Yo, my
who
man
goes
blew up
by
my whole
Got him.
spot. Blew up my whole
who
spot.
goes by
That's crazy.
who goes by Retro Frisbee on Twitter, right? And I am joined by the handsome but the ever so elusive young Roger over here, who goes by Translucent Veil on Twitter. So you
Hey,
can
yo, why
follow
your
the
camera
both of
wild
them.
the fuck out? Your camera's wilding out, bro. What are
Oh
we
yeah, yeah,
doing?
yeah. It's like it keeps like shifting focus.
Yeah, no, it's just because I'm shaking it. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh, all right. Say less.
okay.
You right.
All right. We already got a couple people in the chat. Shout out JJ. Shout out to the King of
Oh
Beard
my
Style
lord.
G. So it's gonna be a pretty cool episode. But before we get into anything, I just want to do like mental health, check slash introduction to you guys because this is the first time that you guys are on an episode of Social Distancing, and for Roger especially, you haven't really appeared all that much like on camera, like
Yeah.
as far as our content. So I just want to get a sense of like, tell everybody who you guys are, what you guys are up to, how this situation is affecting you guys, and like, yeah, what's going on. I guess let's start with Freddie, who the chat and our followers have seen more of. So what's up with you, bro?
Uh, nah, nothing. Everything good. You know what I'm saying? Everything chilling.
Yeah.
Yes, I am wearing a beanie in Florida, obviously, because my AC is super fucking powerful over here, and this shit is blasting. Because the minute you step outside, that shit is humid as fuck. So
But it's
I'm
that
chilling.
central air, right?
Also,
Florida.
you telling me,
Yeah, central area of Florida, and also COVID, man. I'm just chilling home, being cold as fuck,
Yeah.
reminiscing of the Bronx when it used to be brick weather. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Fucking birds
definitely.
slapping your faces and shit. And that's all. But other than that, I've been okay. I've been, training Street Fighter, playing Civilization 6 for some odd reason, but this is amazing.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh yeah, that's
uh,
another thing. What that's
yeah.
sorry, I totally forgot to mention what everyone's playing. So it's a good thing that you mentioned that.
Okay, so I recently beat Final Fantasy X again, and I am very happy. Well, not
Mhm.
even again. I played it for the first time. I meant again because when I was a kid, the CD scratched on me. Couldn't play it. Couldn't pass
Oh,
the third part, so I never played it. But now that I played it again, it was well worth the wait. It still holds up. I love that game to death right now. It kind of beat my top, so I'm good.
nice, nice.
I
Yeah.
got a question. Hold up. So you said it's humid outside, right?
Yeah.
So if you step outside, you're taking the beanie off.
Yes, and the jacket
So just
on
beanie,
site, bro.
just
No, not
beanie
just,
inside,
I
bro.
just said and the jacket too,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I gotta take everything off, dude. I literally take everything off, just jump in the pool as in the outside, bro. It's that
So
humid.
beanie in the crib. I heard.
Yo,
Yeah, bro.
uh,
What you
uh,
mean? Is how it is.
so Freddie, just move your mic a little bit further away from your mouth because I think you're clipping a little bit. No, not damn, bro, you beasted. Hold on, right there. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
usually the sweet spot. Yeah, there it is. All right.
copy.
So
Ooh,
I guess that's a pretty perfect segue into Roger, who is barely ever seen on our content. Very a very
yo,
very elusive member here, but
Abra looking
probably
ass.
uncontended one of the strongest uh fighting game players we have on the roster at Hearst Boys. So yeah,
Mhm.
let him know about you. What are you playing? Who are you? How is this whole quarantine shit treating you? Are you okay? You know?
Well, I'm Vale, and I mostly play Street Fighter. For my mental health, I have not been playing any Street Fighter, and that is the best thing I could do. Uh, so mostly I've been playing Magic, a shit ton of Magic, which has been honestly the game I've gone to the most. The meta's horrendous. I love surrounding myself with toxic games. I think
Hmm.
because like I come back to Magic when it's at its worst and I'm having the time of my life. Playing a shit
Hearthstone.
of playing a shit ton of Modern Warfare, getting called all types of shit. So that's
Ah,
fun.
yeah.
But, yeah.
Is
No fighting game.
would you say Magic is like your safety game?
Oh, definitely. It's like
Yeah.
definitely my comfort game.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And as far as this whole like situation like out in the world and everything, um, you're all quarantined, so you have plenty to do, right? You're playing a bunch of stuff. So you're doing
Yeah.
okay.
I'm also re-recording trying to work my way through recording some Marvel vs. Capcom one tracks, like doing them from scratch. So that's
Nice.
been fun. Yeah.
Nice. JJ said he's translucent indeed. I think that's a
God.
No, no,
Yeah.
I think that's more a joke on like how we barely see you. Like that's
Either
that's
that
it.
or like
Definitely, that's
you
Either
know
definitely
that
what?
or
what
you light skin it. but
You know what?
yeah, I mean, but yeah, that's good, man. That's good to have you guys on here because a lot of the time I feel like if it wasn't for the character select screen that like I usually put whenever we're like starting soon or be right back, people would have no idea how many of us there actually are.
Mm.
So it's good that people are getting this excuse me, that people are getting a wider scope of like the members and the player base and stuff. So
I'm actually like Akuma. You got to put in a secret code to get me in.
yeah. As far as me, I guess I'm doing all right. I have two kids that drive me crazy. One of them would usually be at daycare right now, but it's Memorial Day, so Liv is taking a mental health day. Shout out to Liv's Learning Tree in the Bronx, by the way. If you need childcare during this COVID epidemic, then you should definitely contact Liv at Liv's Learning Tree. She's in the Bronx. She cares very much. She runs a pretty tight ship. They get 3 meals a day. They get three home cooked meals a day. Everything's healthy. Everything's clean. And I definitely vouch for Liv and her business and what they're doing there because they take really good care of my oldest son. But it's Memorial Day, so they're off. So fortunately, Fran took the kids to my mom's house because they love their grandma and they have a lot of fun there. So I have the space to do this right now. But otherwise, they drive me up the fucking wall and I'm going very much batshit insane. But
My son got
but
the free.
yeah, but I got the free right now. You feel me? I'm
Hey.
out here. I'm sipping my water. I'm being healthy. Um, but yeah,
Healthy.
yeah, we've been trying to avoid like like people as much as possible and like just trying to like stay low and all that.
It's hard.
But yeah, and then
That is
yeah,
hard.
it is hard, especially with like kids and shit. Like
Shit, bro.
cause
Oh,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Beard Style G said kids, man. Haha. Yeah, exactly. That ha that
Got
subtle
him.
listen, that haha is like the subtle hint of insanity that's like creeping into my fucking like my frontal lobe. Like so
Oh my
yeah, I
god.
get it. And as far as what I've been playing, I copped the Mafia remastered trilogy. I got it. But
Oh, okay.
because I never played any Mafia game because I was intentionally avoiding them. Um, because of the whole like setting and the time period and like I hear well I'm gonna do a 1 month later on Mafia 2 so I don't want to spoil it in this podcast but I was basically avoiding those games because they're historically accurate and I just don't care for what that means in a 1920s setting in a 1950s setting you know what I mean like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
care
I feel
I don't care for what that entails. Like I see and hear that shit in real life. I don't need it in my fucking video games, you know what I mean? So
that.
I think
Yeah.
Mafia 3 was the one with the black dude, right? That's like the only
That was
one.
my favorite. No, Dominican, apparently. I don't
Who
know.
could
no,
be
I
black
think
in the movie?
he's
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah, sure, but I'm
I
proud
know
being a Dominican in the game, you know what I'm
no,
saying? So
I know
I'm
he's
gonna get
some
that.
I know he's some kind of Caribbean, but Beard Style G said Mafia 3 has to be the best one. Out here taking out the KKK unless you watch The Sopranos. Yeah. Um yeah, so yeah, but even Mafia 3, 'cause like the being black and everything like it still takes place in the 60s or the 70s, I believe. So like
Yeah.
even then, it's
Yeah,
like it's almost worse. You know what I mean? Because in Mafia 2, from what I've played thus far, you only ever really talk about black people the way they talked about black people back then when you interact with them. Whereas in
yeah,
Mafia 3, you are the black person, so you're subject to that shit the entire time, and it's like I,
But
you
you
know,
got a blicky.
yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah. Post Vietnam. Okay. Yo, what's good, Papa Rick? No, it's okay. It's okay. Trust me, we started like 10 minutes ago. You're fine. So, we just got through intros. We got through what everybody was playing. Roger's playing a lot of Magic. I'm playing Mafia 2 and Resident Evil 4 on stream, and Freddy's been playing Civilization 6. And Freddy just got to losers finals in a Street Fighter 5 tournament.
yeah. I did, most
Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
How? Yeah. What was
Third place. Yeah,
third place, man?
that's pretty
Congrats.
dope.
What was that?
Yeah,
What was that like? That like is the rush the same? So we went to DTM last year. We went to Defend the North last year, right? How is the
right.
rush? How is the rush of getting to any kind of finals different online versus like in person in the moment? You know?
Well, to be fair, when I was playing my games, my roommate was intrigued of fighting games. He's been getting into fighting games in the fighting community a lot
Yeah,
because I've been teaching him how to play games.
yeah,
And for the first time ever, he's seen one of his friends play a tournament, and even if it was an online tournament, I still consider it the same and play it the same. So yeah, towards the end, I was shaking because I was like, or like nervous, I'd say, because I'm playing against a character I kind of don't know, and that's Laura. Those mix-ups are insane. I hate everybody use them. I hate Ronnie. I hate everybody who uses Laura.
yeah,
So here we go, right? And I'm just getting mixed up and everything, and then you know you play wrong, and you're just like, I want to win, and you feel like you can win, and that shit just gets to you. It's those nerves, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. So I play more tournaments online than now, more than ever because of COVID, and I'm really glad I'm able to get that experience because of the fact that like it teaches me the game the way I used to play on locals. So
yeah,
yeah, and it was even worse because my roommate was behind me and he was cheering me on the entire time, and I'm over here like taking it serious and stuff like that, and he's like losing his mind over everything that was going on, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta like prove myself and shit. So
yeah.
it was fun. It was fun. It was a dope experience, and I feel like it's the same uh, on like offline online tournaments, the same thing. Yeah.
The same thing. You
Okay,
wildin'.
hold on, wait.
Wait.
See, wait, I knew this was gonna happen. Okay,
Oh my god!
what
All
do
right.
you, what do you have to say to that, Raj? Let's see what he has to say. Also, Freddie, you are a baritone and your voice is booming, right? So
So
just to,
wait, hold on. You can lower my volume and you know what?
actually,
Like
yeah,
my volume.
you can do it. You can
Yeah.
do it from where you are, but just move it up. Oh wait, just like half an inch further out, and
Wait.
you're good now. No, now you're
You.
fine. Now you're fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
All
good.
right.
Cause
Yeah.
you've never been on social distancing before, so I'm
No,
not
it's
used to
cool.
your
I feel
voice
you.
and shit. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel you. My bad.
but
Yeah.
go ahead, Roger. So what? Roger scoffed at the idea of online and in-person
Well,
tournaments being the same
I
thing.
feel like when you go offline, it's never by your crib, right? So you're traveling at least an hour. You're
Yeah.
putting some money to enter. You're hanging out with a bunch of other smelly dudes that are there to beat your ass. So there's
All
like
right.
pressure to do well. Like like at least online, you're in
Right.
the crib. You lose 0-2. It's like you turn it off and you go cry in the bathroom. Like
But
so
okay, it's still the same thing because if I go 0-2 in an actual tournament, I'm gonna go cry in the bathroom, bro. Like I don't know what to tell you.
you gotta go home. That's what I'm
But all right, so you want me to take an hour long train from fucking New Rochelle to back to the Bronx, and I'm with my boys and I can't cry and shit because I went 0-2, bro. So you want me to wait all that time and I can let it all out in the public bathroom, bro?
That's what
What you
I'm
want me to
saying.
do?
So like it's like at least you're in the crib. The pressure is higher when you're not in the crib.
Yeah.
Like
I
there's
can see
pressures watching
where
you.
that's
I can see that too, but the whole thing is that like I don't know. It's just if you consider like I don't know. I consider me going to tournaments as me training to prep to not get those nerves anymore.
yeah.
So when I consider online tournaments the same thing because there are other players who are better than me and play to win, and you just want to get that recognition, like, and you know, you just want to get up there. You want to win. Like, I don't know. I have the drive to win, and that shit always gives me the nerves at the end of the day, and that shit sucks. So I consider it the same thing, like
Yeah.
offline or not. Right now, better offline. I mean, online because fucking COVID. But other than that, I would be going more offline than
I hear
online.
you. I hear you.
Yeah,
You're wrong, but I hear you.
I feel you. I feel you. You're right. You're right. You're right that I'm wrong, but I'm wrong that I'm right. You feel
I've
me?
only as someone who's only yo, it was good, Bojack. Uh,
Oh shit! There's a
Col
chat.
Colbul Colbula el diablo. ¿Qué diablo es lo que dice ahí? Colbula.
Colbula, colbula.
It said tuned into that to that face laughed by Ezo Roger. Half the HB members have trash
Yeah, but
internet.
you
I
all
think
down.
I think we can take Evo.
Oh
So Ronnie's
shit.
here. Bojack's here from two other members of Hearst Boys. Uh,
And J apparatus, which is Justin.
Yo,
I
oh
just
yeah,
realized too.
Justin's here as well. How do these boys stay so handsome during quarantine? Oh, thanks, Justin.
I'm
Thanks.
dead at it.
My
Looking like
favorite.
a babe.
And then and Papa Rick said that's where I met you, Rainey. Yeah, that is where we met. That's really cool. And then I think we ended up meeting again. Or no, wait, didn't we meet at Smash Chester? I think that's where that was, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, speaking of tournaments, speaking of fighting games, speaking of playing them, let's talk about the future of Evo, which was one of our topics today. Let's talk about the future of Evo and what an online Evo looks like. Like what, for example, like a live tournament, you have things like spectators, you live tournaments have to fill seats. Whereas online tournaments have to, what do they like, okay, the pressure is much less, uh the pressure is less on for online tournaments because you don't have to fill literal physical seats. You don't have to essentially sell anything really unless you make it like a pay-per-view kind of thing, and I promise you nobody is doing that. Nobody is doing that shit, at least not on the spectator side. Nobody's buying a fucking ticket or whatever to like a pay-per-view fucking Evo event, you know? So I think there's a lot of financial aspects, there's social aspects because people go to these tournaments to play other people and to meet people, and you know what I mean? And they also go to these tournaments to like, buy merch or buy hardware at a cheaper rate. You know what I mean? Like these BenQ monitors, I wouldn't have I would my head-to-head monitors. They were open box. People were using them the entire day. That's why they were so cheap. But regularly, it would be like one and one third the price. So people go there for all sorts of reasons.
I
What does an online only Evo look like? And then Bojack made a good point that it's free to watch when there's people there, so it wouldn't make sense. But to that point, I would say that the people that are physically there are giving them money by filling the seats, so they don't have to. So they have to,
well,
you know, they have to
like,
make up that loss somehow. You know what I mean?
first of all, I definitely think the best thing that could have happened, at least for fighting games overall, was this on online Evo, because this forces other games that got left out for their shitty netcode to like reevaluate and be like, hey, like, we need to get our shit together. Like our game's not working to the point where the biggest fighting game tournament is leaving us out. Like we got we got
Yeah,
Dumb Fighting
facts.
Herds and we got like Skullgirls and all these
Right.
games that actually work but aren't as big because just like who's gonna play Street Fighter and like cross transcontinental connection for
Yeah,
like a
it's
tournament?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
no,
nuts.
that's
It's
true.
nuts. Like expecting any, but okay. This brings us to another point. Like, what is netcode? People seem to think that they know what netcode is, but I'm starting to believe that no one knows what netcode actually is, right? So
Yeah.
so Roger, you being the most well versed in
Knowledgeable.
fighting games, like you play the most titles. So like, what is netcode?
Netcode is essentially like like the connection from player to player, like that essentially like the internet web that is making these two games sync up, like their clock sync up.
Mhm.
And like a lot of these games aren't using what's proven, which is GGPO. Or if you ever use Fightcade or you ever play like Third Strike Anniversary on your PlayStation, or any Iron Galaxy title, those are GGPO and have like ridiculously good
Good.
netcode.
Yeah.
Now the issues comes with rollback, so it's like the game sort of tries to guess what you're gonna do when there's lag, and if it's wrong and it catches up, it's gonna like just roll back and pretend like, let's say you're in the middle of a jump, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it doesn't know you're gonna dive kick, so then it just puts you on my screen that you landed, and then it reads the dive kick input, so it's gonna like teleport you back into the air and do a dive kick, and I'm gonna get tight. I'm gonna throw my fucking controller across the screen. So that's
Crazy,
so
yeah.
that
'Cause what the fuck? They were.
yeah, so that's the issue. It's just like it's a solved issue. It's not even an issue. Like these people from GGPO are giving it away for free and being like, "We'll work with you. Like, please use our netcode." And like Japanese companies are just like, "No."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Garo Mark of the Wolves, like a game that's like 20 plus years old, just updated their netcode.
Yeah,
Just
and
updated their, and you know what? It's pretty solid. But that goes without saying because it's a 20 plus year old game and it's sprite work. Like the game is not very taxing on whatever engine or server it's on anyway. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
like, do you think that does that have anything to do with it? That like how big a game is? You know what I
So
mean?
that's the thing. Like actually, a lot of these other net codes or custom codes are more taxing. Like GGPO. Like I don't know. I mean, Freddie has played Fightcade on a shitty laptop. Like everybody
Yeah.
has.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
Fightcade
that
doesn't
netcode was
work.
amazing.
Like I've
Yeah.
been on Wi-Fi playing like against Brazilian Kens on Third Strike, and it just
Yeah,
works.
and beautiful. Yeah, no, yeah, for real.
AKA every Ken. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
King
Go
of
on KOF in Mexico, bro. It's looking.
Bro,
You have great connection,
I
bro. I'm
can't
telling
tell
you.
you how many times I've been scraped by who's the guy from King of Fighters that I think he's a Muay Thai fighter but his hair is mad tall.
Joe.
Yeah,
Joe.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know how many Mexican dudes play Joe, and how many times I've been scraped, bro, to high heaven playing. I don't know why Mexicans are just born and they're like they. It's like a baby deer. When they're born, they just get up and go get the berries. You know what I mean? Like Mexican kids are born with a fucking fight stick in their hand and KOF 98 on the screen, and they get to town and they train. Yo, I've never played
Dominicans are born with fucking PS4, PS1 controller playing fucking
Marvel
Mortal
2.
Kombat, bro.
Nah, Marvel
Marvel
2.
2,
Yeah.
MK, dog. What are you talking about?
Yeah, bro, what you
Tell me
mean?
what Dominican that doesn't play MK.
Yeah. They have
I'm just saying.
so
Yeah.
sorry, the chat going crazy right now. Uh uh Ronnie says Skullgirls looks lit right now. That is true. Bojack says most of the biggest games being played have horrible netcode, and it's stuff that the community been complaining about for years. And
Yeah.
Bojack also said anyone with shitty connection on Wi-Fi be like, "Yo, this netcode is ass." Like, nah, man, it's your Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? It's like it's like having a gaming PC, right? And then buying a fucking 9900K or whatever the fuck, like buying $1,000 graphics card and then only having like 8 gigs of RAM and a fucking or like buying a 4K graphics card, right, or whatever, and having a 1080 monitor. Like one of these things is not like the other. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't agree. I don't agree.
Wait. Are you gonna say
cause
that?
okay, cause like what all the net code in my thing is like all the net code in the world is not gonna help you if you're on 1 bar of Wi-Fi. You don't think that?
But let's say like I've been playing a lot of Modern Warfare, right? And like Warzone, there's 150 people in the server, right?
Uh huh.
And it just like I know it lags and it chugs, but it mostly works. So why can't two people on Wi-Fi, let's say on the same coast of the same country, not work? Like it should be.
That
Like, the
I
technology
believe that.
is
Yeah,
there. Like it's fixed.
yeah.
So then,
It's like saying like
And that's
it's more
coming from me on
understandable.
hardwire. Like I'll kick
Yeah.
anybody on Wi-Fi and like
Yeah, it's and coming from me who's usually been all his life literally like Wi-Fi and no hardwire. There's been many times where our games would work all the time, and many times that it wouldn't. It would just like literally freeze up and skip, and not just Street Fighter or anything, other games too. And it
we live
sucks
half
because
a mile from
we
each other.
live half. We live, yeah, exactly. And we're like that just makes no sense. Whereas people on Wi-Fi play better with people who are like I don't know, sometimes far coast with better netcode. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. But I don't know.
To be
It's
honest
we
though,
have the technology, and that's the problem that we don't use it.
sometimes like Wi-Fi. Yeah. So hold on, Ronnie made a good point. Online gaming doesn't need a lot of bandwidth. Like a 300 megabyte per second, like 300 megabytes per second isn't gonna fix lag. Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
uh, I, I hear that, but a lot of the time, I think a lot of people go hardwired because they think that that automatically makes it better. But sometimes though, sometimes people's Wi-Fi is better than their hardwired connection because they don't have 10 gigabit Ethernet. Like they're getting internet, they're getting like internet speeds from like 2005. You know what I mean? And thinking
Yeah,
that like that's better just because they got the wire in there. You know what I mean? Where like something like the iMac Pro, like the 2019 iMac Pro has like some of the best Wi-Fi integrated into a desktop that I've ever fucking seen. Like it's but on the back, you look on the back and it's a regular gigabit Ethernet port. It's not like so you got this great Wi-Fi on this huge desktop, right? On the super advanced powerful machine, but then you look behind it and there's no 10 gigabit Ethernet. So like one,
it's a fucking
you
hamster
know
on
what
a
I mean?
wheel,
Yeah.
just
So
running around and shit.
yeah. So Posey92 says, "I feel Wired has to be a necessity to play online." Yeah, it's especially these days. But this is the point that I'm making is that it's not always better. You know, like sometimes the Wi-Fi be bussin' and like for some reason the wired just don't hit the same. Like I've had downloads. And I know this is different. Like it's not the same as like live play, but like I've had games take an hour down a 50 gig game take an hour to download hardwired, and I'll unplug that bitch and get on Wi-Fi, and it's 20 minutes. So like it's a fickle. I think Wi-Fi in general is, or internet in general is very fickle. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah,
I think that like maybe the problem is more with like it's a more interpersonal issue. Like connections are the issue more so than netcode, and I think that
definitely
people
not.
people tend to scape my thing is what I'm saying is like people tend to scapegoat netcode when they don't really know what it is. Like it's not like no one's going to argue that Street Fighter 5 has horrible netcode, right? Like like no one's
Yeah.
going to argue that. These are facts. But I've played Street Fighter 5 on stream. I've been hardwired and like it I don't see it. Like I don't me but this is me personally. Like I don't get it. But that's because I have pretty fast internet. You know what I mean? I got files and I'm hardwired and like I'm good. So I don't really see the issue with that. And I think a lot of people are conflating the issue with more so just putting 100% of the blame on the netcode when it's like, okay, well, what are you doing to make your connection better? You know? But that's just how I see it.
Well, I feel like if the infrastructure is there for like games to work, other genres to work, like let's say like Overwatch or CS:GO, where it's like 6v6,
Mhm.
and it's like constantly syncing clocks, and it works at least. Why can't it work for like two people,
Mhm.
and like
yeah.
a less straining game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
also feel like
that makes sense.
And
Do you
we're
feel like
definitely in the
there
past.
do you feel like there's like a maybe a server issue? Like do you feel like because the like relative to shooters, I think fighters have less history of being online than like shooters. So do you think that how do I put this? Do you think that shooters have probably a more sophisticated connection or more sophisticated netcode because they've been online longer and they've been able to and they can afford those bigger servers and that better code or what I don't know.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
But that isn't that basically saying what you said before, Roger? Where it's like if Warzone can like have all these people in one map, why can't Street Fighter have a connection between two players?
And
Yeah.
that's the
Isn't
thing,
that
like both of them are like, well, not Warzone, but like a lot of games are peer to peer as well. Like, like you connect to somebody else's connection and then you're both playing, like somebody's a host and somebody's uh just playing. And the same thing happens in fighting games and it just doesn't work because they have the solution and they just don't want to grab it.
right?
Why do you
That,
think
that's
that
also true.
is? Why do you think that
Uh
is?
Definitely Japanese developers are like in their own bubble. And even then, like a lot of times people complain that even in Japan, which is small, like from the top of the region to the bottom, it won't work. Like it'll be lagging and all that.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's definitely even in that bubble where people try to give it the excuse that, oh, it's because they're in Japan and then Japan's small. Like it doesn't even work in Japan. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean the whole netcode thing is like I just feel like from someone who doesn't quite understand it as much as like somebody like you, Roger, who plays at fucking everything. I just feel like a lot of people have garbage internet and they go immediately to blaming netcode. You know what I mean? So but I do hear you. I do feel like people be doing the most and but it's not so much like I don't know. I'm the last person to cape for a developer. Like you got $1 million in your pocket. I do not feel sorry for you. Like you take 100% of the blame all the fucking time.
And
You
that's
know what
the
I
thing.
mean?
It's free, Like people are giving this shit away. They're like, take GGPO. Like, please use us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people and they just don't want to take it. It's just I don't know. I think it's a pride thing too, to be honest. I
But
just I
we're
have no
starting to see
yeah,
like the new GG is being delayed and is being added. Rollbacks being added. So
and
that's
that's where
very dope.
well, so that's I'm gonna talk more about that later for sure. So being Guilty Gear being one of the games that I really wanted to play and experience the fact that it got delayed. First time. That's not a good like feeling. But anyway, like they did take a good approach on that in that game too when it came to like the netcode. A really good one, but it's
Rather,
just I don't know. What was it?
I just say rather a delayed good game than you getting your bad game on time.
Yeah, nah, look at Street Fighter Five, the way it started. Not for nothing. Yeah, that was a very sad time for the both of us. We were depressed coming from a great ass game like Street Fighter Four to Street Fighter Five.
But see, everybody says that. Everybody says that for every Street Fighter.
You said that. What do you mean? We both agreed how that game was amazing.
I'm not perfect.
I'm, all right. I mean, I still stay for Third Strike.
No, I'm
Like,
just it's a cycle. Once Street Fighter Five ends and six comes around, people are gonna be like, "Yo, man, remember Street Fighter 5?"
nah, I don't believe that. I feel like people are still gonna be like, remember Street Fighter Four, Ultra Street Fighter Four, bro? The beauty in that game. Come on.
fifty
That game
dollars.
was
If you ever say that, how about that?
$50 on stream right now. $50.
$50. If you
50
ever
bucks.
reminisce, you're like, "Damn, yo, Street Fighter 5."
Yo, you got me there, bro. It's $50, bro, and I'm
Hold
money
on,
matching the same day too,
hold on,
for just for a back.
the chat going nuts. Wait a minute, we got a couple points made here. Uh, so hold on. So the King of Beard Style G said it's so weird because in Japan they run fiber optics. They have been since I was stationed out there.
Yeah,
Fastest internet I've ever used, right? And then and they also said and in Japan fighting games are so key. Ronnie then says Japan does have crazy internet. Uh, Beard Style G then goes on to say much bigger fighter population than shooters in Japan. That's also true, both north and south. And this is from someone that spent time out there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I definitely take
Mm.
I'm definitely gonna take their word for it over someone who's like literally just on. No shade to you, Roger, obviously, because you know what you're talking
No,
about too. But like, I'm definitely gonna take their word for it over someone who's just on Twitter like, man, netcode bad. You know what I mean? It's like,
But it's just great though that we can have someone to like
that's
explain in a better way. That's dope.
it's not the internet connection or the internet speed. It's the actual, net code itself, like how it works and how it chooses to use those resources.
yeah.
It's
Very
just
true.
Posey says, I
Yeah.
think it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Uh, wait. Ronnie said SF5 was so bad that at launch, Boy and Rainy almost fought.
Oh, now we talking about
Oh
this. Look at
shit!
that, bro. Look at that.
Oh
Oh,
my
we
god!
talking about this.
Yo,
Catching heads out
that
here.
was so weird.
Oh
It was
man.
okay. So it was a Thursday night. I had the free brib, right? And it was launch day of fucking Street Fighter 5. So everybody's choosing their. Well, I'm choosing my screen name, and I chose Ja Rule. I chose Ja Rule straight up, and fucking everybody was like, "Yo, you hurry up, do it before somebody takes it." So I put Ja Rule, and anyway, long story short, we're playing with like the 8 characters that are there, right? And we're playing or whatever, and like, boy's not having a good time. Like, he's on a losing streak, and we're all drinking, we're all fucking wasted, right? And like, I'm like, "Hey boy, can you pass me the controller?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." Like fucking grabs the controller. And I'm like, yo, boy, what the fuck, man? And he goes, yo, shut up. I'm like, no, you shut up. And I go, this is why. And I go to boy. I'm like, I presented you for years. And then boy goes, and boy goes, you always want to fight somebody. So it was very embarrassing for both of us, but it was a good time. I wouldn't trade that night for the world. It was great.
I
We had
just, I just, I love this because I know exactly what you mean when boy starts getting mad. And
No, hold on.
I
Let's
know what
not.
you mean.
Wait, 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 wait.
Okay, you're right.
Let's not violate my boy because he's not in the stream to defend himself.
No.
So he's not on the episode. So let's not violate right now. But that's the bro. And we all love him here, obviously.
Yeah, of course we love him, bro. That's my boy. What you
But yeah.
mean?
So
Let anybody know, bro. Anybody talk shit about boy, bro? I'm gonna slap box him 100%, bro. That's it, bro. That's it.
so
On
po-
some G shit.
so Posey 92 goes. I think it falls on the developers just not valuing what online can be or the importance of it. For some reason, they just don't care for it from what I see because the community do bitch for better netcode. Yeah, the
Yeah.
community definitely be out here wilding for some new damn netcode. But yeah,
But I
uh,
also think we're kind of weak as a community because we'll bitch,
Yeah.
including me. And then, like, launch day comes, I'm like, gimme.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
If
give me that.
anything, though, like it also furthers the point how GGPO is really like one of the best netcodes out there. Is because even Will in chat just reminded me that Street Fighter Third Strike online for
Yeah,
online edition was Iron Galaxy GGPO, and that netcode was really really good, and I had a great ass fucking time. Like your boy, oof. See me. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I
Yeah.
got a PS3 to see me. Like, that's
So-
it.
So
Other
I'll
than that,
match you for your beanie.
Oh my God, money match for the
okay,
beanie. No,
okay,
beanie
okay.
match.
The beanie for the septum. That's it.
Right,
Be-
all right.
Right.
After
Street Fighter 5. No, not even. Hold on. What game? On stream, tell me what game.
you
Tekken.
pick it. Anyway.
Tekken.
So
Alright.
either
Tekken. Nah. Tekken. You said I picked the game, right? Tekken. So my beanie, I'll ship it to you to your house. You ship me a Tekken.
this
The
happens.
septum.
This happens constantly. By the way, guys, everyone in the
Fuck outta
stream
here,
chat,
bro.
Bojack will tell you, Ronnie will tell you, Jumi will tell you, fucking, I think Francesca's still here. Fran will tell you.
Alright.
This happens constantly. These guys will go at it for no reason, and I'll completely forget what the fuck we were talking about, because these guys are going back and forth like, no, see me, so what's up? You trash, bro. Fuck out of here. And that's exactly the team dynamic that you want to have in a competitive setting. So
So before we continue, real quick, I just want to make sure this man betted $50. I forgot what it was for, and I'm gonna rewind this video,
If you
and I'm
ever-
gonna find out.
If you ever reminisce about Street Fighter 5, like, damn, those were the days.
Oh, copy. All right, that's $50 right there.
Okay.
And then you set them for a money match in second, right? First attack, right? That's what you said. I can choose the game. All right, dog.
okay.
You want
So
to my character for me?
So
Anyway.
so moving on from the netcode discussion and the right, we have the title of the stream, SonicFox versus apparently the world. Let's just remember everyone that SonicFox goes by they them pronouns. And I'm not trying to be the PC police here. I'm more so saying it for myself because when I was made aware of SonicFox's, FGC existence, they didn't go by those. They hadn't come out as non-binary yet. So that's more just for me to be like, hey, remember, it's they them now. So yeah, everybody, just when you refer to SonicFox in the chat, just remember. I don't. By the way, I don't fucking like SonicFox, but that's a whole other story. But we will still
Okay, no problem.
but that does not mean but that
I
but
knew-
hey
I knew that was gonna happen.
hey, but listen, but that does not mean that we have to disrespect people's identity, and we must validate that at every turn. So we got to keep it respectful, right? So anyway, SonicFox, they them, right? Now SonicFox, what? Oh God, here go Posey. Why not? I don't like.
Yeah, why not?
I you know what? I'm holding a grudge from what they did to Goichi. I'm holding on to that still. That's still burning inside my chest right now. Like, are you like what kind of a privileged Never mind. Never like what kind of a I'm sorry. What kind of a like you know the kind of like You know the kind of privilege you gotta have to be like, hey, let's stop this entire tournament because I'm so pampered and used to winning. I have no idea how to handle player two side and I'm getting smoked. So we gonna stop this
That's part
entire.
of the rules.
Nah, fuck that. It's
Yeah,
not.
stop it. You can reset and reset the
Bruh,
seats.
bruh. Look, listen, man. I don't want to hear it. Look, the
I'm
way, the way, the way I grew up, right? The way I grew up in the pizza shop on 167 in Jerome, playing fucking playing X-Men
Did the
versus
light
Street
switch work?
Fighter, right? Listen to
did the
me.
li-
Listen to
That's a
me.
good question.
What? What?
That's a
What?
good. Did the light punch work?
Did Light Punch on the
Right.
machine? So listen to me. Listen to me. Hey, listen. When you put your quarter on the fucking machine, you go, I got next after whoever. Boom, right? Whatever side you end up on in that pizza shop on Jerome and 167 is where you fucking play, okay?
Okay,
So
my bad, player. I
whatever
didn't know it was
side
called Evo at 167.
whatever side you end up at, that's where you play, right? You know, and you know what? We don't even have the excuse of wires anymore. Remember when you used to switch seats with whoever you were playing with because because the PS2 wire, you're like, yo, hold on, let's go, and then you go like this. Look, you go like this. You to fucking move the wire. Oh my god. So yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway. So whatever. Look, I just didn't like that shit, and it's been that way ever since. So anyway, Sonic Fox has been facing some scrutiny from the fighting game community, but not not the community that should be upset if they even have a reason to be upset, because so the basically the rundown is Sonic Fox or Sonic Fox's fursona, which is a furry's persona, like a furry's animal persona is their fursona, right? So
You have to
Sonic
explain so much.
Sonic Fox, right? The actual blue fox, that the suit is in the training stage in Skullgirls. And people who don't even play Skullgirls are like livid about this. Like,
The worst part is it's not even like permanently. It's a 1 in 60 chance when the stage loads in
uh-huh.
that Sonic Fox might be there.
Yeah. And
That's dope.
and no,
Like,
and people who
I don't know why people got
people
problems
who
with this. For real.
I've never read a single tweet. I've never seen nothing. No tech videos, no nothing about no goddamn Skullgirls, right? Are suddenly up in arms about Sonic Fox being included in the training stage sometimes. Like like
Word,
you
like,
just
what?
like you just hate anything that isn't straight and male. You know what I mean? Like you just like I whenever that happens, I just feel like people need like homophobes need a reason to show their ass constantly. You know what I mean? Cuz like there's no who cares? Like who the fuck cares? You know? And like I mean, I don't know. What do you guys feel like
I
who
think it's dope. I think it's a dope ass concept. I don't know. Like, he's a good player. He plays
They
Skullgirls. Sorry, they are a good player and they play Skullgirls. And I guess the company or the creators of the game want to do a little nice thing for them, and they put him on there. And it's not even like a permanent thing, like Roger said. That's insane. How people are just getting mad at the 1 in 60th chance. If you want to, if you want that to be you, bro, get good. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know.
Bro, there's
Like,
so many other
yeah.
there's so many other valid reasons to be upset at fighting games like netcode, right?
Yeah,
Then
right.
then then if some then if a furry is you know what I mean? It's like is in a game for half
that
a
you
minute
don't play
that you
with
don't play.
with
Word.
good netcode.
With
Yeah.
good netcode. So, like, there's no complaining in anything. If you play that game for real, then you have nothing to complain about.
it's
I mean,
it's
God
crazy.
bless.
I
For
feel like
real.
yeah, I just feel like homophobes, you know what I mean? Like they just love outing themselves any chance they get. They love it. They love it. They can't resist. And it's like cuz I can't and like I like I'm not trying like I'm not trying to like pin a label on it or whatever, but it's like I can't think of no other reason, you know? I can't think of no other reason that anybody would complain about this. I seen this tweet
So,
and
I mean,
I seen this tweet and I'm like, "Huh?" And I'm like, is that real?" And then I look it up. I look up like I go in the Twitter search and I type Sonic Fox and it said 100 tweets in the last hour. And I'm like, "Oh my god, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on. We can't cancel We can't cancel Doja Cat and SonicFox in the same week, okay?
That's a very
We
specific Venn diagram.
we
For
can't
real, for
we
real. That's
we
that.
can't do all that. I cannot
Sheesh.
keep up. I physically, my brain cannot keep up. So, but instead what I see is all this like hate about this stupid thing. Like, I don't know. So yeah, I don't
Uh,
know. Roger, what do you think?
I think that just the FGC needs a villain, and like, what's more villainous to like straight white dudes than like a gay black kid that could mix everybody? You know,
Yeah, yeah, a gay furry
like
that like a gay
yeah,
non-binary furry that dominates everything they play. Yeah.
that's my villain too. Like shit,
Yeah.
every like,
Shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
and
Seeing
but
him on DTN, bro, it was like holy shit. I'm glad I'm not the guy playing him for real. Like
and
Like
there's no more villains in games anymore. Like there's no Filipino champ to like easily hate on.
yeah.
Uh,
no LTG.
I
I mean,
what's the
I don't
Filipino
see him in
player?
tournaments
I
anymore.
forgot his name already. Yeah,
Well,
Chris,
they
whatever.
yo, remember they everybody.
Yeah.
Uh
Okay.
LTG,
no, no,
LTG.
Oh,
you said uh you misgendered Sonic Fox before. Remember, it's they.
Right.
Just a second. Sorry, just
Yeah.
but oh yeah, and then in the chat it just happened. But
yeah.
but it's
There's
okay.
a,
I know it's not like malicious or whatever, so don't worry. It's just, we gotta stay consistent with these things, like
Yeah, we
just
do.
to show, like, solidarity or whatever. So um
and then the
yeah.
people that should be villains, like like Chris G or Infiltration, then those guys are cool. So
Yeah,
it's like,
Chris G. Fuck. Listen,
Flow.
hey, Chris G. You from the same city, dog. It's on site
yeah,
for you. You a weirdo, bro. Hey, I'm
That's
gonna keep it a bill with
a
you.
big fact,
Nah, I'm gonna
bro.
fuck
keep it a
him
bill
and
with you.
his
You a
sister
fucking
too.
weirdo. Like
That's how they get you, that shit
Chris
that he's
G's a
done, bro. He a
fucking
fucking
weirdo.
weirdo, bro.
Chris
Get the
G's a
fuck out of
fucking
here,
weirdo,
bro.
and like not a weirdo, not a weirdo like he eats kiwis with the skin on it. I mean like uh like he said that, like, he doesn't date black girls because, like, they steal, and, like, they're like ugly or
That's
something.
some racist ass shit right
And,
there. I
like,
remember
yeah,
that
and
shit.
that's but he could show up to tournaments, chop it up with
Everybody.
yeah, with everybody, fucking Justin Wong and them, piece him up like it's nothing. And look, man, I understand everybody's human. I understand, like, everybody, like, nobody's perfect. Like, you gonna say some stupid shit in your life, and you gonna feel a stupid way in your life, especially if you grew up with that mentality. Like, a lot of people don't have, like, a lot of people are indoctrined into that line of thinking. But when you do no work or show no evidence that you've changed your behavior or that line of thinking at all, then I have no reason to vouch for you or, like, to be cool with you, and you can eat a dick. Chris G can eat a dick.
Big facts.
Infiltration can eat a dick. Am I wrong, Roger? You probably know more about this than me. Has Infiltration come out and said anything about the
He tried countersuing her for defamation, so
what?
he like
Yo,
dug his hole deeper.
if anything, hey, if anything, that's, like, worse. You just double
Yeah,
down, like, what the fuck? Crazy. So
So
yeah, yeah. So the people that's a good point, man. The people that everyone should hate, everybody's cool with. Why is Infiltration still at tournaments? You know
or
what I,
this dude,
big
what's
facts.
it, Bushin style? Like, come on, bro.
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
word.
No capping for Bushin style.
yeah, I
That's a
like,
fact.
and but I don't know, man. The FGC is so, like, so inconsistent, you know, because, like, how long did it take to cancel fucking LTG? Like,
He's still around. What do you mean cancel? That's the
nah,
thing. He's still
he's
around.
done. He's not. He's
He
not.
can't.
He's
He
not. I
can
Yeah,
go
mean,
to some
what's he
events,
gonna?
but like,
yeah.
But in the
Videos going on.
in the FGC, like, can first of all, cancel culture is not real because 90% of the people that get canceled still get deals, still make money, still, like, they don't lose anything. You know what I mean? But in the
yeah.
FGC, the one way to actually really legitimately cancel somebody is to annex them from tournaments. And that happened to LTG. So I at least to me, I mean, he still has his online platform, he still has all this other shit that I wish actually, you know what? The only platform that's still allowing him to stream is YouTube.
So,
I think he's
yeah.
even banned from Twitch now. So
Yeah.
I would say that the
Oh
closest
wow, now I
person to
think.
being actually fucking out of here is probably LTG. But how long did that fucking take? You know what I mean? Like he was
Hmm.
still around. He was still around after coming for Broly legs. Like, that
I
should
just
have
feel
that
like
That should have been it. It should have been it way
Yeah.
before that. But go ahead, Roger.
I just feel like, like I don't know, people the other get canceled so much easier. Like it was, he was harassing Guilty and all that, and then Guilty came out and with the whole sexual abuse stuff that Guilty had under her,
Mhm.
and like she
Yeah.
got canceled immediately. Like Guilty,
Immediately.
she's gone, even
Yeah.
though LTG was been doing this shit the same thing for like years, or same thing with Broly legs, or same thing with Viscant and all. Like,
Yeah.
like this dude got
Even
arrested.
Flo got like the same allegations too, and did not get canceled as
Yeah,
fast as Guilty did.
Flo's
Yeah.
still around.
Yeah.
Flo's
Flows.
still
Yeah.
around. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like it's insane. I don't
Like
know.
people pick and choose.
Like anytime.
But
And it, yeah.
Yeah. So LTG and Guilty definitely did have some beef. But they were on that like reality show
yeah,
together.
that and obviously with guilty. Yeah, the Challenger. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
on CBS or some shit.
Yeah. Something like that. But yeah.
Yeah,
Also, BoJack wants to talk. BoJack wants to talk about the 7 Gokus that are that are in Dragon Ball Fighters. So, um, yeah,
What is it? It's Goku, Goku Black, Goten.
I
It's
think
Ash
there's
without the hat. Is
I think there's
fucking
actually not
I
there's
don't know.
if you count the other like Goku archetypes, I think there's 9. Because there's Goku base form, there's Super Saiyan Blue, there's Ultra Instinct, there's Kid Goku from GT, there's so that's what am I at 5? There's oh, and then there's Bardock, who is
that's no fucking Goku.
it's kind
Are
of
you
a
serious?
Goku. It's
You
kind of
Are
a
see
you
that
are
Goku.
you for real, bro?
DBZ. Now you got me defending DBZ.
I don't
Oh
know.
my god.
I mean,
I'm so
Okay,
desperate to
okay.
not
No,
have
you're right. You're right.
Goku.
You're right. Bardock's different
What
enough.
do you mean he's right? He looks exactly the same as Goku. What are you talking about? That's his son.
Yeah, he's
What are you
Goku.
talking about? That's y'all wilding right now, bro. That's like the ninth Goku, bro.
Nah, I'm all.
Look
Nah,
out here.
actually, you know what? I might wait. It's super. Oh, it's Goku base, Goku yellow, Goku blue, Goku black, little Goku, Goku silver,
Goku
Goku Dino
yellow.
Thunder, and Goku SPD. Yeah, exactly.
And then Ash without the hat. Y'all ain't hearing me, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's
yeah.
Morphin time. Yeah, Ash without the hat. But
I think
but
it's
yeah.
Fine, bro.
So
See, he gets it.
yeah. So okay. So we definitely all agree that that this I guess this is just people loving to hate someone who is good at something like SonicFox like getting all
I just
this.
want to say something.
Yeah.
Only motherfuckers with race car beds are excited about the Dragon Ball Z roster having like 80 fucking Gokus. Let me just
That
say
is,
that.
that is true. That is true.
Only if you he said only if you got a twin race car bed.
I can finally agree with something with him that he's right. He is right.
Oh my god.
That,
With the
yo,
with the
they on
yo
crack.
with the gas station white tiger sheet. The shit, yo, how I know we all, bro, every black household, we all had that shit, and we don't know where it came from, right? The fucking, it was the sheet with the
No.
it was either a white tiger or a lion or something. Like
It
every
was a
fucking
black sheet with a red ass tiger, bro.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Why did
Oh, I feel
everybody
bad.
have why did everybody have that? It was crazy.
Am I wrong
But
for
yeah.
wanting another Vegeta? Absolutely not. I think Vegeta is the coolest character, and I love playing DBZ. I'm gonna get on some gas station dick pills and play some DBZ.
Aw,
Some Vegeta.
shit.
Vegeta, bro. Let me tell you something about Vegeta. He is a god. I don't care. Literally, like that's my man's, hands down. I
I
don't
like
care
him
about
'cause
anybody.
he's a good hater.
I mean, yeah, he certainly worked for the shit that was not given to him. You feel me? Goku had it all, like literally in a silver platter, bro. Like here,
Yeah.
bro, you're the strongest power, you're the strongest fucking whatever the fuck saying
Yeah.
and shit.
Vegeta's salty
If
as
you don't
fuck.
work his asshole, bro, like that is.
Yeah. So
Also, Justin asked, so are there any Hearst members entering for Skullgirls or any other games for Evo? I am
um
entering for Skullgirls, and I think so. I don't know, but I know, why not? It's free. You know what I'm saying? How about you guys?
I'm not entering in anything because I'm whack at anything that is not a single player game that I can memorize and grind in until I basically until I know the game like the back of my hand, like Resident Evil 4.
Says the man who plays Capcom Evolution just to
Oh
lure
my
people to
god.
their ass and get win money matches. Get
I
out of here,
listen.
dude.
I'm good
Get
at
him
I'm
out
good
of
at
here.
what do they call them? What does the FGC
Remy
call them?
licking ass. Get out of here, bro.
I'm good at poverty titles. I'm good at poverty games. I'm good at I'm good at Garou, and it shouldn't be a poverty title because it's so good. But that's the only that and like I'm good at that, which nobody plays, and I'm good at Capcom Fighting Evolution, which is like the worst fighting game ever made, according to the FGC. I love that game. I don't care. I think it's fun as fuck. Like
he said, I'm good at Bloody Roar. What you mean?
yeah, nah, but for real, like I don't know. I mean, and I think on record those are the only games because I believe for our it was Freddie, it was me, you, and Barack. I believe our our
Yo,
Mark of the Wolf
Chazak with his
stream.
Chazak. Oh my god, it just reminded me of an ass whooping that I received from that man.
No, yeah, and it was but
That was
that was
beautiful.
the only time that I had a win streak on. Remember, I went 10-0 for the
Oh
first
yeah,
half of
you
it.
were
Yeah,
beasting, bro, for no reason, dog. And
that
I was picking
Bloody
my main,
Roar
which is
is a
Terry.
furry ass game. That's some SonicFox ass game.
what is
It
what
is
is.
Bloody
Bloody
Roar.
Roar.
Oh my god,
Bloody
that's
Roar,
a
Bloody
Sonic
Roar.
Fox ass game, yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I mean, yeah. So like, whatever. So I mean, if those titles were available at Evo, then I might join. But nah, I think I'm good. But Roger, I not to like put you on the spot or anything, but you you like myself, you tend to get like tournament fatigue, right? So like, or not tournament fatigue, more so like
I got the spookies.
yeah yeah. So like do you think that there's a higher chance that you'll enter now um because it's online and you can compete from the comfort of your own home and it's not like the way I see it for Roger, like me being like the team manager or whatever, I'm like, oh, Evo's online this year. Yes, time to bring out USSR secret weapon. Like, and that's Roger. Roger's our secret fucking. Roger's our
Hey
fucking.
man, get the fuck out of here.
Roger's our
Whatever,
nuke. You
man.
think? Hey, you think I'm
No,
playing?
he's not a nuke, bro. Fuck out of here. What you mean, bro? Like,
Roger's
let
our
this man
fucking
beat me
nuke.
at least in what one game that's about to die, bro.
Roger blew up
That even he doesn't play anymore, bro.
Hey,
For real, that game.
Roger blew up Raccoon City. What are you talking about? That was
All
him.
right.
That
Nemesis.
that was him. So yeah.
No,
So
that's it.
now, so what
Stop
do you?
playing.
So if you are thinking of entering, what are you going to enter? Um, and how do you think that? How do you think you will fare? That you can now that you can do it from the comfort of like your own home and stuff.
I don't play fighting games. Um, I might enter Sam Show, but outside of that, I'm definitely not gonna play Skullgirls because I'm like I'm like a caveman in that game. Like I got in on the ground floor and like at launch, and then I stopped playing, and people just went into the future. I'm like in the Stone Age. So my like
Yeah, that's it.
wheel
I know
mix
that
up,
feeling. I get it.
stone wheel mix ups, and these dudes got like laser beams and shit. Like I'm
Seriously,
definitely
bro.
outclassed. I'm not
Yeah.
playing Skullgirls. I'm not playing them fighting Hertz because I just never played it, and I have no
What's
interest in.
what's them fight? What is that?
It's a brony fighting game. To
It's a
keep it a stack. I
it's
mean,
a brony
no,
fighting game.
no, no shade or anything, but yeah, it's like at first it was based on My Little Pony IPs, and then they sort of switched it around. As
No
far as
way.
I know, yeah,
Yeah.
they got like a they
Yeah.
switched it over or something. I might be wrong, but I know it's definitely like brony. It's a brony game.
Yeah.
Man, listen, if it wasn't for Flash like .ex like the software, if it wasn't for the Flash software dying literally this year, or is it? Yeah, it's this year. I would have coded I would have coded a fucking a Hearst Boys fighting game. Like
That's
yo,
a good word.
if come on, if the Bronies get one, there's no reason we shouldn't have a fighting game
First
out,
Boys
bro.
versus Family Guy.
Hearst Boys, oh my god.
Versus Family Guy.
No, and there's
First
ten
Boys
of
cross
us.
Family Guy.
There's 10 of us. It'd be an even roster. Like fucking fire, bro. That'd be sick.
All right,
Um,
stats right now. Tell me stats. Let's go. And it can't be the stats from the freaking loading screen. I need new stats, new updated, new
okay,
fucking patch
What
notes.
do you
Let's
mean
go, my
stats?
man.
so
What do you mean? What do you mean? I need stats?
Roger's the all rounder. Barack will be grapple. Freddie will be the tank. Fucking. Let's see. Ronnie would be. I would be a zoner. I think Ronnie would be a zoner. Boy would be a zoner. Leo would be aggro, definitely. uh,
We're just tank
Justin,
light or any of this.
Justin would be a glass cannon for sure. Like
Well,
Justin would get in, go stupid, but if you hit him like 4 times, it's a wrap. uh, that's 8, right? 8, and then
Kevin.
Will and Kevin. Will would probably also be a glass cannon, because I feel like Will could punch me in the face really hard. But if he misses and then I get him like even a little bit, like he's going home to mommy. So Will's definitely a glass cannon, and then Kevin will probably be an all rounder just like Roger. Like Kevin and Roger would be like what Mario is to Smash. Like like
Yo, I hate you. You just insult me.
but where does tank lie in fighting games? I am not understanding.
Tank.
You said everything else right.
So
We're
like
not
you
talking
would
about
be
MMOs out here.
so you would be like you and Barack would be like Thanos in Marvel 1. Like Juggernaut in Marvel superheroes and shit.
All right.
Yeah.
So power, just raw power.
Yeah.
Power.
Like you gotta but
Power.
y'all are slow as hell. Like y'all are slow as hell. You gotta let
When
the
we
game
get
come
in,
to
it's like a
y'all.
flow for you. Yeah, word. I feel that. I feel that. I
Like a
got you.
tank, gabagool. Yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie says Leo would only have one move. I believe that. I believe that, bro. That is a fact.
Right, said no, I'd be a schoolgirl. Leo would have lived.
I
Ronnie,
definitely
read
see
that.
Ronnie with the
Read,
schoolgirl.
Ronnie. Nobody saying nothing. Just that's. Don't worry about what I just put in the chat. That's an insider between us. So yeah, heat the deep. So yeah, drawing to a close here. Let's just talk about one thing that's been on my mind for a while. Um, like development hell and as a concept, I think. Like I feel like everybody thinks it's something different, and I never know what it means. So for those of you who don't know, whoever in the chat that doesn't know, development hell is when a game has been in development for so long, for way longer than its intended release, like so much longer than its intended release that people either think it's never coming out, or that it's taking too long and it's gonna suck, right? So like, and the reason I ask this is because uh, people are saying that like The Last of Us Part Two was in development hell. I don't think that's fair at all. Like I don't think that's true at all. If anything, Final Fantasy 15, which was then, oh Onikuma Will just said Final Fantasy 13 Versus, which is what 15 used to be called. Duke Nukem Forever, yeah, exactly. Those were definitely in development hell. Definitely
Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3 for sure, and it still sucked.
Mother
Definitely,
Three, Mother Three was in development hell for 9 years, and then it got released to Japan only on the
yeah.
Game Boy Advance.
No,
So that
Japan.
was
Wait, was it Japan or Japan and Europe?
no Japan, only Japan.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mhm.
what do you? I mean, what do you guys like? What do you guys think? Do you think there's anything in development hell currently? Do you think there's anything that came out recently that was?
I
Because I
mean,
Go ahead, go ahead.
like considering the way games are being developed now, I guess to us now, like development hell considers like what one postponement.
Yeah, right.
Like
Like we're
everyone loses the
so
shit after that.
yeah, we're so pampered. We're so used to getting what we want that like
Yeah,
even a 6 month delay. It's like, oh, this game is this game. Fucking you hit the YouTube clickbait title Last of Us Part Two development hell, and it's like, nah, man, it was delayed for a month, literally a
yeah,
month. Like, no, it was
yeah,
not in fucking development hell. JJ said Animal Crossing for sure. I did not know that. I did wait, like New Horizons, you mean? Or just Animal Crossing in
yeah.
general?
Actually, I think it was New Horizons.
New
What
Horizons
about it
wasn't.
was in development hell? I thought they're just taking their time.
Yeah, I didn't. I wouldn't consider because the Switch is still relatively new hardware. I wouldn't consider that development hell. I would like I don't know. I don't think that any first party IPs are ever really in development hell, right? So what I mean by first party is like what I mean by first party is like a Nintendo game that's published by Nintendo. I don't think that counts because like if that's the case, fucking Metroid. Metroid is
Ooh.
every single Metroid has been in development hell.
Prime
Let's
3,
talk about that.
not Prime 3. The was it Prime
It
3?
is Prime 3 was delayed, I think. Yeah.
The new one,
Other
Prime 4, because Prime
Prime
3 was
4, yeah.
corruption.
But I don't
Right,
think
right,
but
right.
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think it's development hell necessarily cuz like it's a first party title, like they can literally do whatever they want, you know what I mean? Where it's like something like Treyarch where like it's like, okay, here guys, make the next Call of Duty. And then it takes oh, first of all, they have a very small window to make the game at all. So if it takes longer than the projected time at all, even a little bit, people are gonna be like, oh, new Call of Duty delayed, it's in development hell because it comes out every year. New 2K delayed, it's in fucking development hell. Like, you know what I
Well,
mean?
Crackdown was the first party, and it got delayed like 5 years
Crackdown
Yeah,
is a
but
first
who?
party from who? Microsoft?
from Microsoft. Yeah,
I mean,
Are you
that's the heat they bring to the table, bro.
wait?
I
Crackdown.
Has
know
it?
you're right. I'm just saying that game is puro mierda, bro. There was no, I don't know, man.
Wait,
I
hold
didn't.
on. Ronnie just said games do this. They come out too early and they are missing half of it, or they are broken. And then there are games that take 8 years and then it's rushed at the end or just doesn't live up to the hype. Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, yeah. Definitely. Kingdom Hearts 3 especially. And do you? Ah, man, I don't know. I feel like there's a very fine line. Like there's like a what do you call it? Like a trapeze. Like there's a very you got to walk the line essentially because between like, oh well, it's taking long because it's gonna be extra good, like, like The Last of Us 2 or whatever. Like that's the general consensus. Or, oh, it's taking forever because they don't know what the fuck they're doing, i.e. Crackdown 3. You know what I mean? So it takes
Well, also like
it depends.
the first Doom remake was in development hell, and I think also like shit with like, technology, like
20
engine.
2016 Doom?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Okay.
like engines switch a lot, and people like I think they were developing that for like last gen consoles, and then new gen comes out, and then you get a new engine, and like a lot of times you just got to start from scratch because like technology moves past what you're working on.
Mhm. Yeah, that too. And it's like and Versus 13 I believe was announced for the PS3 in the PS2 era, you know?
Yeah,
so like imagine having to be like, yes, we're making this game and fuck, it's taking forever, fucking PS3, like PS3's here. Okay, now that we have the specs, or they probably had a dev kit, they probably got a dev kit, but like, okay, we got the specs, we're making this game, it's like 3/4 of the way done there. Oh, Sony announces PS4. Fuck. You know what I
oh,
mean?
Yeah, yeah, nah, yeah.
wasn't the last Guardian supposed to come out like the first 2 years of the PS3 or some shit?
Yes, that's
I,
true. That was supposed to happen, and what a fumble.
I
That's
remember
for
that
real.
being at every E3 just showing off a new trailer. I was like, oh.
We watched every single E3, so yeah, like I totally get that shit. Yeah.
I love how they showed a GIF of the Elder Scrolls 6. They showed one GIF, and it was the hypest shit ever. Fucking Bethesda was like, Fallout 76 is getting an update. Boo. And and Elder Scrolls 6. Like, oh shit, yeah. Like,
Oh
I
man.
I feel like Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna take a while, but then again, you never know because like for all we know, um, the games are in development well before they're announced,
Yeah,
or
Yeah.
they announce prematurely. Excuse me. Or they announce prematurely and don't even fucking start development. Like Nintendo. Like, do you think that Nintendo was like, okay, we need something hype, like, show this 4, show the number 4 with some clouds in space. What does that mean? Like, what does that mean? No one knows what it means, but it's provocative. It gets the people going. So
It's
yeah,
sort of like the same with or in a good way, like people are in development already, and then they announce their games, like Cyberpunk 2077.
yeah.
Like they were in development for 5 years, and then they showed a trailer, but then now they showed like gameplay or sorta esque, like what the fuck is happening around, and hype as fuck. And but they
Even
were in
before,
development for
I was gonna say even before that they announced it though and
yeah,
stuff.
like a little trailer
Yeah,
though, but it was like a cinematic one, not like a
yeah.
you still didn't know what the fuck was going on, but you were so interested in it. But
Mhm.
shit's holding up. So let's see. I feel like that's my development help because I've been waiting for a long ass time for that game. I don't know. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Do you feel like I mean I talked about this on an episode of Rainy Complaining that you can catch on the
Rainy
stream.
complaining.
Yeah. Come on. Tell me that's not tell me that's not the hardest name
Oh
for a segment
shit.
though. Tell me that's not the hardest name out for a segment, bro. Like
I
the
feel like you just threw a dart in the naming
yeah.
fucking wheel and you just fucking got rainy complaining.
Yeah, I mean, I do complain about a lot of shit, so it was definitely fitting. But you see Roger silently agreeing. He's like, "Yeah, you do complain a lot, you bitch ass."
With the rock looking ass
Oh my
eyebrows and
god.
shit.
But yeah, so like The Last of Us 2,
Light
like
skinning OD.
Last of Us 2. Oh wait, actually, it's how when was Last of Us 2 announced? When did they announce it? Like not the first trailer, like literally first like initial announcement. I think it dropped
I
with the trailer. Matter of fact. Um,
Wasn't it like April 2nd, 2020?
they
Oh
didn't
no, that's
no
no,
way.
no, no. That's
Release date.
never mind.
They announced
it's,
it in the
it's,
future. Yes.
I have no
they,
idea.
they announce it in the future.
No idea. Doesn't say here.
I don't see him either, bro. I thought you were the Last of Us guy.
Me? I mean,
Yeah, you.
hold on, wait. Last of
JJ says
Us
2 years ago,
Part
apparently.
2
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
initial teaser. Let's see here. Oh wow. Release date reveal trailer. No. Okay. Either way, people are like either way, I it also depends on like how you feel about a game. Like how much you're anticipating a game because I cannot imagine like for me like Final Fantasy 15 was fine. I actually really like that game. I love that game. But I feel like somebody like Ronnie or maybe even Will who saw the initial first fucking trailer in like 2007 or something like that uh and like have been waiting since were sorely disappointed. You know what I mean? Like sorely disappointed, and like that, I think that makes things feel longer than they actually take. Like for me, with The Last of Us, it's only been 2 years. It feels like fucking full, like 5 or 6 because I'm really anticipating that game. So like I think development hell it depends really, but like I don't know. I just think there's a general like how long does a game have to take for you to consider it like you guys personally to consider it like something that's been in development hell.
If I remember, like, oh shit, like I just out of nowhere, I'm like living my life, and out of nowhere, I think about the game that I realized I saw 5 years ago as a kid, and I'm like, what the fuck happened to that game? And you look it up, it's like it's still in development. You're like, all right, shit, fucking
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
one of those, I guess. Yeah,
yeah. Roger.
When they don't tell you, when
yeah.
they don't tell you a date, like when they just postpone it indefinitely. Like
Yeah.
that just happened to me twice with like Silent Hills and Mega Man Legends 3. So
Mhm.
it's just like
Oh, I feel bad. that
yeah,
was that was yeah, that was awful,
I know how
bro.
to pick the IPs I like, bro. Definitely.
Ooh.
Legends 3 did end up coming out, right?
No,
No, it got canceled.
that's the
No?
thing. Even so, it was done. It was finished. The
Yeah.
game was done, and it just KG
KG
Inafune
Ina yeah, KG
left the
Inafune.
company, and they're just like fuck Mega Man.
It
Damn.
does. Yeah, they
And they
canceled that shit hard body.
Damn, did him
That
dirty.
shit was fun.
Well, I think
Fun fact, by the way. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Fun fact: Resident Evil 4 was delayed 6 years.
Oh yeah, and then
Yeah.
the prototype for RE4 became Devil May Cry. So, Devil May Cry fans, you're welcome. You owe your entire existence to Resident Evil. So, um, so yeah, JJ
Don't get
says
me started
five.
on Mega
JJ says 5 years plus. Uh, oh, Ronnie says Final Fantasy 13 Versus was shown at 2000 in 2006, and Final Fantasy 15 came out in 2016. That's insane, dude. That's insane. Like people live and die in that time. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
10 years,
that's
dude.
what I
Like,
said, bro.
oh my god, bro.
Matter of
I think
fact,
that
Guilty Gear was the
time,
same way too. Actually, it took a long ass time for them to like release a new type of game,
Yeah.
like a
that's
new
different.
fighting game. It is different, but at the same time, when you're waiting for a game, like another title of a game that you know is gonna come out, and it finally comes out, isn't that like sort of development hell in the same sense, in a
Nah.
different sense, I guess?
For you,
No,
for no, for you personally, it might be. But
yeah,
I
I
think
don't know.
I think when it comes to like a static definition of it, then maybe not so much. Not so much. But so all
Yeah.
right. So I usually end these things with a question. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, uh, when should Street Fighter 6 come out?
What a question to ask both of us.
When
um,
should that drop? And this is I've heard nothing. I have no information. This is straight up just off top based on the two of you because I know you personally, right? And
I
everything
got
y'all
you.
know about the game. When is a good period for that to drop? When is the perfect fucking like the sweet spot for it to drop?
When they fix the net code. They can drop it tomorrow. Like I would give them $60 for Street Fighter 6. And they're just like, we're good net code. That's it. So
When they when they you know what, like when like I don't know, I feel like they should just never make a Street Fighter game again. I just go back
God
to Third
damn!
Strike at this point.
God
I don't know.
damn!
I want Neko too. It's just this game is Stress Fighter Five. Like why would you? Even Roger said it. Like why would he sit there and play a stressful game when he could just enjoy his time
On
at
Magic,
home?
on Magic, yeah.
Magic, come on, bro. Like I'm over here stressing over here playing Street Fighter and shit. There's no reason for this game because it's ass.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know why
Like,
Street Fighter in general does that to you, man. Like it just brings out the fucking worst in people.
yeah,
Like
it's because it's a 1v1.
not like anime fighters does. Anime fighters bring out the fucking the absolute piss in people's fucking character. Uh, and and you
I'm
know,
looking at you, Ronnie.
they're nah, like tournaments are evidence of this. Like you ever go into an anime room? That is it's 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 nuts in there. It's fucking it's batshit in there. But yeah. I think for me personally, I feel like Street Fighter 6 should come out. Well, number one, when they fix the netcode, you were definitely right about that. But also when they put Q back in it, okay? I'm not playing G. He's stupid. G is dumb. I don't care
Q
about
is stupid.
functions.
Q is
Fuck
stupid.
you, Peter Combo Fiend Rosas. Characters are not just functions. You can eat a dick, okay? I don't give a fuck if Captain Marvel does the same shit as Magneto. I want to play as the master of magnetism. Got me hot. Bugging
And
out.
he's still not gonna be in the game because that nigga Obama mask. Oh, let me stop. I'm so sorry.
Oh man.
Point
Great
is,
though.
they're never gonna. I don't think they're ever gonna put. I always say it, and I feel bad, but at the same time, it's like G is there, and that was the end of that train. Like the Q train literally stopped after G
Hate
was
G.
announced.
Hate him.
And I literally like, I was so sad myself because the same thing with Zeku. I feel like Guy is never coming back into a game like
That is
that.
so much cooler.
Well, but Guy though, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Who cares?
uh,
Who
I,
actually?
I,
Who actually
you know
cares
what?
about
You're actually right. Who cares about Q? That's very true. No one gives a
right?
shit about Q.
Right?
You're right.
I
You care about Q?
I don't know. He's my
Uh,
favorite Street Fighter character, to be honest.
All
So,
I'm saying
yeah.
is just they got cooler IPs of games. I wouldn't mind them skipping a Street Fighter and being like, "Hey, here's a Rival Schools" or "Here's a Darkstalkers this year."
can we all agree on 12 though?
12 is tight.
12 is tight.
12 is
12
cool.
is tight.
Okay,
12 is tight.
all right. So, I guess that's a good point to end on. This has been another episode of Social Distancing. Thank you guys for both appearing here at for the first time for both you. Um, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, everyone in the chat. Ronnie, fun fact, Ronnie here actually hit the 100th comment both times. This is the first time that the chat has ever gone to 200 comments, and every 100th comment, both 100th comments were Ronnie. So the the first one was, yes, I agree everything. That's what he said. And then the second one was just now. Tune in next week where we talk about one, does Discord need a light mode? Two, how many eggs per chickens? Think about it. Three, PC, the only way to game and watch porn at the same time? That was the
Wait.
200th comment, and that is fucking awesome. So thank you guys for joining us. Any final words from our newest participants?
I'm gonna go log off and be racist.
Oh
So
my
And
god,
I'm
what
gonna
the
go.
fuck?
I'm
What the fuck? He's gonna he's gonna pull a Dolger, Miss Dolger, Miss Dolger out here. She in racial chat room showing feet. Yeah, did you see Noriega? Noriega tweeted that shit. He said, but I'm doing it in his fuck. What's the name of the fucking, you know that song, the Oye mi canto. You remember that song with Nina
I'm
Sky?
Dominican. I don't know what the fuck you talking
Oh
about,
my
bro.
god. That's
I don't
crazy. So either
know.
way,
No
I
idea.
just imagine Noriega because he just be yelling. So I imagine him tweeting like, "She in racial chat room showing feet. She showing feet in racial chat rooms." So yeah. Anyway, thanks, Roger. It's good
We're
to
about to
know.
have a money match, yo. Step into this lobby, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already told you. Money match right now, bro. That's it. The people know that they got good content today, and I just need to ask. I need to be asked. I don't need to ask what I need to be asked. That's all it is. So
Okay.
get into the room, bro.
Thank you guys so much. My name is Rainy. Tune in next week for another episode, and we will see you guys next time.